Hello, hello. Good morning. I'm late. I'm only 19 minutes late, which I'm kind of happy that I'm only 19 minutes late when literally I woke up this morning and I'm like, "Huh, it's light out. How come my alarm didn't go off?" And then I kind of laid back down and I'm like, maybe it's like 5. I think my alarm was set for 6, so I set my alarm weird times. Does anybody else set your alarm for a weird time? Like, I don't set my alarm for 6 a.m. I set it for like 6:02 or 5:58. For some reason, I've been setting my alarm for 6:02. Usually it's like 5:58. I don't know. Anyway, thought it was set for 6:02. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna lay here. I'm tired, which I knew, and I told my wife yesterday, which I'll get into it. We were driving yesterday. Remember, I said I wasn't gonna leave the house. Yeah, famous last words. So we're driving, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not that tired, but it's gonna hit me tomorrow. And that's usually how it is because I stayed up late Friday, woke up super early Saturday, had the card show all day, had a few beers, and I'm like, it's gonna hit me on Monday. Apparently it did. At some point Monday morning, early this morning, maybe my alarm went off and I just shut it off. I don't remember it. Maybe I didn't set the alarm last night. That could be also. But I went to bed. I was reading my book, The Man on the Train by Bill James. I read a few pages and I was tired, so I fell asleep. Maybe I thought I set my alarm before I started reading the book, and then I put the book down and went to sleep. Anyway, I overslept. I woke up at 6:50. 6:50, 10 minutes before I'm supposed to go live. So I did my normal routine just quicker. I would have shaved this morning. Had I woke up on time, I would have shaved. I'm scruffy. So I didn't shave. I did brush my teeth. I showered. I made coffee. Coffee slow. I would have been a few minutes earlier if my coffee machine worked faster than my computer. My computer actually booted up. Boom. My computer was quick this morning, but the coffee maker was a little slow. So that's what slowed me down a little bit. And here's what I was thinking as I was showering. I come up with some great ideas while I'm in the shower. I was thinking back in my radio days, like in my last job days, if I overslept, I'd say screw it, and and this is how you know if you don't like your job. If you're like if it's 6:50 and you've got to be to work at 7, you're in a rush, you skip the shower, you skip all like the unnecessary morning tasks that we just it's part of our routine. You skip all that crap and you get to work if you like your job. But if you don't really like your job, you oversleep, you take your time. You text your boss. That's how you do it now. It used to be you call your boss. Now you text your boss. Hey, I overslept. I'll be in. And you go, you brush your teeth, you shower, shave. I probably would have shaved my old job if I was late. And then you stroll into the office. And now I say that and it's like, wait, I did all that stuff this morning. Did I not want to get on live? I think I'm just so accustomed to being late on this show because of my computer that it's like, it's a horse apiece. But it used to, and this is the difference between working from home for yourself and working like a job. It was also, by the way, I should also clarify, it wasn't just it's not because I didn't like my last job and I liked radio. Radio's kind of like this. Like I have to be on at 7 a.m. But you guys are used to me being on at 7:13 because I have computer issues. So it's like 7-ish. between 7 and 7:20, you can expect me to go live. Hopefully it's 7, but we know if it's 7:05 and he's not on yet, he's just having computer problems, or the coffee maker's slow, or in today's case, he overslept a little bit. So in radio, it's like, so what we have, like, and I would oversleep, especially in my 20s. Here's the thing: I didn't even drink last night. It's oversleep. It's like, I had a few beers, a little tired. That's what happened a lot when I was not a lot. That's what happened if I overslept in my 20s working in radio. The thing is, I'm not like worried about being late on this show. I was worried in radio because, and here's why. In radio, if I was late, it ran yesterday's news or yesterday's sports. We had a news director, so unless I was recording the sports, if it was a Saturday, we rotated weekends. But in the weekdays, we had a news director. I was the sports director. And then I think I also had to record weather forecasts. So all of that stuff was recorded. Sometimes I would go live. Now, if I was running late and I didn't have time to like record, it takes time to get that set up and then actually record it and then make sure it plays, I would just boom, turn the mic on and I would do my sportscast at 6:10 or 6:15 live. But if I didn't get there, say the sports ran at 6:15, and usually if Mike was our news director, if Mike was there, I'd be like, hey, Mike, I'm not going to make it by 6:15. Can you bump sports? So he would like take it out of the computer program for each of the stations that it would run on. But if it was like, if Mike wasn't there, or if it was a Saturday, like if I was covering for Mike, then then I got to get there, otherwise yesterday's stuff because it was all recorded. So if I didn't make it and nobody was there to switch it out, yesterday's news would run. And then you start getting phone calls. You're reading yesterday's news. So, and then when you're in a rush, you're like, oh my God, I'm running late. It like ruins your whole day. Fortunately, it's not going to ruin my whole day because I'm used to being late on this show. Usually it's computer problems. I don't know if I don't know. Can you remember? I don't think I've overslept. Like I've been late many times after 7 on this scheduled show, Monday through Friday, but I don't think any of the times were related to me oversleeping. Usually it's related to computer problems. So here we are. I overslept. So let's get to the chat, and then I'll share why I left the house yesterday. Ed is with us. Good morning, Ed. What's happening? He was the first one here. Brian Dean, what's going on? Good morning. By the way, we're going to play Who's That Player again. We did it yesterday with 1990 Score Football. We're going to do it today with a baseball product. Now, I'm not going to tell you which product we're going to do because I want it to be a surprise. I don't want people to go to Google and start studying. This is a pop quiz. Which, by the way, I had a dream. I'll get to the chat. I had a dream last night. It wasn't as inspirational as Dr. King, but I had a dream that I was back in school. I have these dreams a lot for some reason. What's that telling me? I don't know. So I had a dream. Mr. Killalay, of all people, he passed away, man, almost 20 years ago. Probably 15 years ago. Great teacher. One of my favorite teachers. Mr. Killalay taught was it sophomore English? And he taught like geography and history. He would like stand on, to get your attention, he would like stand on desks. Awesome teacher. So he was a big Yankees fan. And he had quite the baseball card collection. I was talking with somebody in my hometown, shout out Anawan, and they were like, yeah, you remember Mr. Killalay? He had like the 52 Topps mantle. He had like all the big Yankees cards like back in the 80s, back in the 90s before the boom. So don't know what happened to those. But I had a dream. Mr. Killalay was my teacher. I was in class. I was taking a test. And I part of the dream, I remember it was like the first test of whatever it was. I don't know which subject, but I got a 93. And I was very happy with a 93. I didn't get 93s on too many tests in high school. I was not a very good student. I did not apply. According to my teachers who during parent-teacher conferences, I did not apply myself at times. But I applied myself in my dream and I got a 93. So shout out. And Mr. Killalay was the teacher in that class for that test. Random. I don't know where that came from. Terry, what's up? Good morning. Cooter's with us. Good morning to you. It takes a while for steam pressure to build up in Bo's computer. The computer actually takes up this entire room like 1977. Paige and Deanie Bean, what is happening? Good day and a fine morning for a GB versus IR. Is that, I don't know what that means. Is that Green Bay? What's IR? Jenny asks the same, GB versus IR. Dan sets his alarm for 6:30 and 7. So Dan, are you a 2 alarm guy? I'm a 1 alarm. My wife's like a 17 alarm. Victor, good morning. Johnny Boy Cards, Mark Hoyle, Clark, good morning all. David is with us. Jaden is with us. ChicagoHockeyCards.com. Good morning. Let's see. Every day it's 7-ish, and I didn't even drink last night. I know, right? Christian, good morning. Let's see. Where are we at? Herman is with us. What's up, Herman? ChicagoHockeyCards.com says we collect cards, bro. It's all yesterday's news. All good. That is true. Nothing important to talk about today. In fact, we're going to go back 30 years and talk about Junk Wax era baseball cards later on today. We play a game. Let's see. Herman says, or coffee pot. Yes, sir. It's computer or coffee pot. I need an upgrade on both. C&M Collectibles, what's happening? Tracy, good morning to you. It's to the point where it's like, I don't want to upgrade a computer because it makes for good content. It's like, it's kind of like when the Cubs won the World Series. It's like, what are we going to bitch about every year? The Cubs win the World Series. It's like, man, it's like Christmas Day. We wait for Christmas and it's November 21st. And it's like, it's Christmas season. And then when Christmas happens, well, now what? And it really sucks if you're up in the upper Midwest, because then after Christmas, it's cold for another 3-4 months. And you don't have anything to look forward to because it feels like spring is never gonna come. Here we go. But we get another month. We get a solid 4 to 5 weeks of the Christmas season to enjoy. Let's see. Red Light 34, what's happening? Dan says, based on your stories, I was going to say you would have been satisfied with a 75, right? 75 was probably like my no, well, and here's what. I always like applied myself to get B's and C's. And 75 was a D at Anawan. We had a tough grading scale. So 70 was a D minus, a 69 was an F. And I think a 70 to a 76 was a D. I think it was 77 to 84 was a C. 85 to 94 was a B, because a 94 was a B plus. So my 93 on my test in my dream last night, that would have been a B. And I don't even think they gave us a B plus for a 93. I think it was just a solid B. I think you only got a B plus for a 94. That was it. 94 B plus. Everything else was a B. And then 95 was an A. And then obviously up to 100. So that was our grading scale. It was a tough grading scale. So I was a B and C student under that grading scale. When I went to college, it was like 60, 70, 80, 90. And I'm like, damn, this is nice. Now I'm a solid A, B student. I got one of my first grade slips from college. It comes in the mail, and my mom gets it, and she's like, "Oh, these are your grades. Can I open it?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." And she opened it, and she's like, "Oh, not bad." And I looked, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "Mom, I didn't even go to class. I didn't even go to half my classes. How did I pull this out of my ass?" She wasn't happy with that comment. She was happy with the grades. It's like, these are better grades than high school. What do you mean you don't go to class? You actually pay money now. You are paying money to learn. Go to class. That's my advice. If I have anybody listening under the age of 18 or 19, go to class if you're hungover or not. Now, yeah, you can take a hangover day once in a while, but go to class. You're paying for it, or your parents are paying for it. Somebody's paying for it. Okay, here we go. Where are we at? Back to the chat. We've got Dan saying, oh, we just talked about that. John is a 0 alarm guy. That's impressive. Sometimes I can go 0 alarms, but it also, like today, see, I went 0 alarms today. Look where it got me. Tardy. I was used to those as well. Tardy slips. Let's see. Red Light 34 got 500 cards sleeved last night for Red Light 34. Andrew says that's weird. You see GB versus IR, and I see an England flag and an Iran flag. See, I would have thought Green Bay versus injured reserve. That's what I see. Oh, you actually posted like flag emojis. Okay. So this is why, okay. So this is why some of the chats come out weird. So I'm not seeing like a normal chat. I'm like in the behind the scenes chat room. So I bet that's why some chats come up faster, like yesterday with the game, some people were seeing, although some people saw differently. I don't know, but I see a different chat. Like I'm not seeing what you see. So yeah, so I don't see flag. I don't see emojis. So I guess that's why if I get confused by a chat, it might be an emoji that it's coming out as letters. Now I'm wondering why it's GB for an England flag and IR for, IR is obvious. Oh, I'm an idiot. Great Britain. Haven't drank enough coffee. See, that's why I was a C student. Let's see. Mark Hoyle says, no alarm up at 4 at the latest. John and Mark playing the no alarm game. Chicago says, play and watch hockey makes the winter way better. I played hockey. So we played hockey, and I think I've probably shared this story, but I'll share it again. Back in the 90s, remember when rollerblades were king? So back in the 90s, rollerblades were big, and we played in one of our churches in town. There was it was a really nice parking lot. It was blacktop, fancy. The Catholics have money in Anawan. They've got blacktop. So nice blacktop parking lot, and we would play roller hockey. And I was never a hockey fan, but I got rollerblades, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go play hockey. I bought a cheap hockey stick from Walmart or wherever. They sold hockey sticks in 1995 or 6. Went to play hockey, playing. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fun. And all of a sudden, my buddy, I can't remember if it was Scott or Seth. I think it was Seth. Seth was like the only hockey fan in Anawan among my friend group, among anybody in our age group, actually. And Seth lines up a slap shot. Is that what you call it when you just hit it really hard? And I think we weren't playing with a roller with a ball. We were playing with an actual puck. And that effing puck hit me like right here. right there. And I'm like, you know what? Screw this. F hockey. That was probably the first and last time I played hockey. Let's see. Mike, I will call you Mike. Mike is ChicagoHockeyCards.com. That's faster. Mike is faster to say. Cooter, did you watch the 60-minute story on the soccer sticker craze? No, and the odd thing, I don't know why we didn't, because normally we watch 60 minutes. Oh, I know why. I was downstairs shipping, and when I went upstairs, I smelled risotto. The wafting scent of risotto brought me upstairs, and I think I hit the couch. It's what we do, being couch people. I hit the couch, and I listed some cards. So yeah, we had risotto. I only had risotto because, so here we are in the food talk section of the program. On Friday, I had to get, so we feed our dog like deli meat for lunch. Our dog's a very picky eater. We have to we really have to fight with our dog to eat, which is straight. Like, our dog will not eat leftovers. If we make hamburgers on the grill, we make a special burger for the dog. The dog loves the hamburger fresh off the grill. Biscuit does not like, Biscuit's the dog, Biscuit does not like leftover hamburger. She will not eat leftovers. She is a frickin' diva. So we have trouble getting the dog to eat. So anyway, she gets deli meat for lunch, and we were out, so I had to go to the grocery store, and I didn't feel like making anything myself. So they had rotisserie chicken and some fried chicken. I'm like, you know what? I got a hankering for some fried chicken. So I got some fried chicken. It was in one of those long, so there's a lot of it. So I think it was like a whole chicken. So I ate a couple pieces for lunch on Friday. I still had some leftovers in the fridge, and I had for lunch yesterday, I just had like a healthy choice meal. And I didn't, so after the card show Saturday, Craig and Elijah, they're dealers at my show. They're like, hey, you want to get something to eat after the show? All I had was, I had my Dunkin' at 5:30 a.m. And then I had like a breakfast bar at noon. That was all I ate all day. So yes, I'm hungry. Let's go. So we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. I had a burger. So that was like, what time was that? 4, 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock maybe. So I didn't eat from 5 o'clock, and then I had a donut for breakfast Sunday morning. And then, I still have to tell the story of why I left the house. So I was hungry, but I only had a healthy choice meal. Those are not filling for a big beer belly guy like me. So by like 3, I got hungry again, and I made some hot chocolate. Nice Sunday afternoon. It's freaking cold. I'm going to have some hot chocolate. Like, I'm going to have some cold fried chicken. Wouldn't Leftover Fried Chicken be a cool band? Leftover Fried Chicken. Sounds like a bluegrass or a country act. Leftover Fried Chicken. So I had some leftover fried chicken. Cold. I think it's better cold than warmed up, because if you warm up fried chicken, it gets all like soggy. It's better cold, in my opinion. So I wasn't hungry. So I had a couple pieces of that at like 3, and then hot chocolate fills me up. So I just had a little, and risotto's really filling. So I just had a little bit of risotto last night for dinner. Where was I going with this story? Why am I talking about what I ate for dinner? Oh, 60 Minutes. That's why. So the answer is no. I did. So the answer is no. I did not watch 60 Minutes last night. Normally we do watch 60 Minutes. I did not watch 60 Minutes. Ed says, tough grading system. Yes, it was. Cooter says your teachers call a 34 to 39% a bow. We did have the bow rule that went into effect my senior year, and that was based on, guess what? Tardies. Yeah, I was tardy so much they created a rule that they called the bow rule. Victor, England versus Iran. John says, when you take classes like pets as food and stall mucking, then the curve should be hard. Big Harv in the house. What's up, Big Harv? Loved college, hated class. Same here. I was I loved school, but I loved it as like a social activity. I didn't like the actual work that you had to do. Classes were boring. Homework sucked. Tests were stressful, but the social part was really fun. Andrew says, that's why people hate emojis. Now I understand. No more emojis for me or anyone else for that matter, for shame. Let's see. DR says, we played roller hockey in the Chicago Park District tennis courts. We also played home run derby in those tennis courts. It was a blast. Has there been anything that has surprised you about yourself as you have scaled up your business over the past year? I don't think surprise would be a word. I think the only thing I'm surprised that it's taken like, and I think I wasn't putting it into practice. Like, I thought I would get to 50,000 active listings in a year. And that was before I had Car Dealer Pro, and I think I was probably using File Exchange at that time, but it was before I had the feed scanner. And I thought, and I mean, without the feed scanner and without Car Dealer, like Car Dealer Pro is really, increasing that much faster. So I think that's probably the one surprise. I wasn't able to scale up my listings as fast as I thought I could. So I guess I was surprised by that. John says he hates hockey, but loved playing roller hockey. Didn't know the rules. Me neither. But I only gave it one shot. Red Light 34 says that sticker on 60 Minutes was crazy. A very special holiday edition of Hobby Evolution, Dogs with Eating Disorders. Right. So, oh yes. So my wife and I left the house yesterday. I was getting ready. So I'm always late on Sundays because I choose to sleep in on Sundays. And so a little late. I was getting ready to start my shipping. And all of a sudden I get a text from my wife from upstairs. It's like, don't forget, we're going to look at the furniture today. I'm like, So one of her clients has a lot of they're downsizing. They're retired and moving from a home to a condo. And they have a bunch of stuff that lines up with stuff that we can use extra, like big heavy duty shelving units. They have like 4 of these. And I'm like, heck yeah, because these are getting expensive. And then there's some tables that will make perfect card sorting tables for my shipping and staging area of the new house. So we went up there. This couple lives in Waunakee, which is like a northern suburb of Madison. So I don't get to Waunakee. Shout out to Jesse. I think Jesse lives in Waunakee. I don't get up to Waunakee much because A, it's not easy to get there, and B, there's nothing there. And when I mean there's nothing there, it's like a small town tucked away. And it's not a small town, like it's a good sized city. But there's not a destination. Like now, and same with Verona. Like my address is technically Verona, but Verona is like out of the way. But I go to Verona because A, they have a good brewery over there, Hop House, right on the main street. And now that Costco in Verona is less trafficked than the Middleton Costco. And that's one of the reasons I hate going to the Middleton Costco, is because it's so damn packed and I hate crowds. So I think I'm going to start going to the Verona Costco. But otherwise, I don't go to Verona. So there's not really, so Verona's not a destination. Waunakee's not a destination. So we went to look, and shelving units, they had the tables. What else did they have? They had one of those really nice, like red tool shelves, cabinets. Mark knows what I'm talking about. My dad had a bunch of them because my dad was a builder and used tools. And they're like, oh yeah, we're selling that. They're like, we're not selling the tools, but we're selling the tool cabinet. And I'm like, my wife looks at me and she's like, do you want? I'm like, no, no, I don't use tools. every once in a while I use a screwdriver, sometimes a hammer, but I don't need a big tool cabinet to put my one flathead screwdriver, my one Phillips screwdriver, and my one hammer. So we're not going to buy the tool cabinet. I don't use tools. So we went and looked at it. So I had to leave the house yesterday. Let's see. John says listings aren't the barometer; it's the amount of sales. Absolutely, and I think that there was a lot of focus for me on listings, but listings do lead. And the reason why I was focused on listings, and I still do, I need to focus on listings because I calculate my sell-through rate on a daily basis, and so that was motivation. So the 50,000, and it still is my motivation to this day. 13 months later, 50,000 is my barometer because I calculate out, extrapolate those numbers out, and based on 50,000 listings, here's the volume I will be selling based on the current sell-through rate, and then here's the average sale. Here's how much I'll make on 50,000 listings. So it is my barometer. It's my motivation to list more, and I use 50,000 as the number to track it based on that sell-through rate. But yes, the important part is the actual sales. So as I continue to scale up, I need to be focused on, I'm starting to see less and less commons or sell, I'm still selling, and I can bring out my phone, and there's still going to be something that what I am noticing is like commons from like football, early 80s football commons don't move. And I shipped a couple yesterday, but out of like 1,000 listed, a few sell here and there. I did notice, though, I listed a bunch of like 80, 81, 82, and for baseball, and those have been selling. So I just try to keep track of, okay, what am I wasting my time on listing, and what should I focus on? Right now, First Bowman, for some reason, First Bowman cards just not selling. Well, that reason is it's November 21st. And by the end of December, I think we'll start seeing prospects, baseball prospects, that needle will start to move again. Right now, it's dead. In fact, by the way, we're going off on all kinds of tangents this morning. Yesterday, I sold, we talked about variation listings, why I don't like variation listings. And I was going to tell you, here's the perfect example why I don't like variation listings. Actually, I'm going to show you. So I sold a Gunnar Henderson First Bowman Chrome Megabox Mojo Refractor. I don't even know how much it sold for. $2.50 maybe, $2, $3, somewhere in that range, which I bet it's below market on what that sells, because Gunnar Henderson is going to be like a top 5 prospect when the new rankings come out. So I went to my 2020 Mojo box. Where's it at? Here it is. And I'm going through and I see Glenn Allen Hill Jr., a couple of those. And what's this? Jeremy effing Pena, First Bowman Chrome Mega Box, which means it hasn't sold. Oh, the Gunnar Henderson is not a first. Okay, so I think $250 is probably a good price. There were 4 of those, and I'm like, how come Gunnar Henderson hasn't sold? And then there's an Aristides Aquino, and I know he's like persona non grata. That's numbered out of 199. So I'm like, how the hell did Jeremy Pena not sell? So I went and I looked at the variation listing, and I had like I had not put the correct amount of Penas. So it says I was sold out. So say I had 5 of those, but I had only listed 4. So I had sold all 4. So I just basically deleted that variation listing, and I'll list the Pena because it's probably a $20 card. And then the Gunnar Hendersons and the other stuff, actually some of that stuff might go in my quarter box. So Dan says, how's Paoli? Paoli is a really cool small, like Paoli is, or Paoli, I call it Paoli. It's probably, I don't even know what the population is, maybe 200 people, 300 people, but it's like super lively, and it's like in the middle of nowhere. They have like a general store, they have like a couple art galleries, there's a restaurant, there's a brewery. It's really cool. So I like biking that way because it's kind of, there's some country roads that I can bike to there, but it's a really cool little small town. Randy, what's up, Randy? Randy was at the unspectacular on Friday and had a very interesting interaction with a dealer. I walked up to a table and noticed the overweight old white dealer stuffing his face with a double burger. Interesting. I watched too much Band. I don't know how to respond to that. I watched too much Band of Brothers. I swear Bo just said I hate Krauts. Very excited about my new card room edition. Let's see. Paige and Deaniebin with a link. John's Mini Collections. What's up? Good morning to you. Let's see. Oh, so Randy adds to the story. I start looking through his boxes on his table and see a few cards I like and ask how much for these cards. He says, those cards are sold. You know that. You're a picker. That is a really weird interaction. I wonder who the dealer was. That's how would you respond to that? Probably like the last word in your previous chat, shock. I would be like, I probably wouldn't say, I probably would just walk away. I mean, I would be speechless. Like, how do you respond to that? I don't know. I just don't know. I would probably be speechless and just like, okay, and walk away and F that guy. So yeah, that's a very bizarre interaction. That is a weird interaction. Let's see. Let's see. Mike says 50K seems crazy. I can't get past 65. I list like 10 to 20 per day, but I sell all of them. That's good. It's crazy. No comments though. That's good. And that's what you want. Like, yes, I want to get to 50,000 active listings, but I'd rather sell. I'd rather sell more than I list and keep climbing to that. But, it's kind of fun. Like some stuff, it's weird. You think some stuff I list, it's like, this is going to sell right away. And it just sits. And some stuff I'm like, nobody's going to buy this. And it sells in 5 minutes. Dan says, sounds like the queen of the couch people might go to Paoli occasionally for the art places. Yes. My wife and my mother-in-law hit up the Paoli Schoolhouse, which is the restaurant there. Check out the art galleries. Let's see. Christian says, started going through the basketball collection that I bought. I maybe bit over my head over here. Basketball's funny. I was telling Craig at Buffalo Wild Wings the other day that I just don't get basketball. Like that collection I bought at the Big Rockford show last month. There's cards that I would think, oh, this could be a $20, $30, $40 card. And it's like a $2 card. And then there's cards that it's like, oh, this is going to go in my quarter box. And it's a $40 card. I just don't get basketball. But the more I learn it, I guess, the more I'll hopefully understand it. Speaking of buddies, I think I failed to mention this yesterday in the Madison Card Show review. My buddy Brandon and his wife came up from Anawan. So I had some from my last Goodwill pallet. There were a couple Randall Cunningham rookie cards from 87 Tops football, and he's the one that I've talked about. He's building the 87 Tops football set. So he's like, hey, I need that Randall Cunningham rookie. So I'm like, cool. I'm like, hey, do you need a Peyton? Because I've got a couple Walter Paytons. And he's like, yes, actually I do. So I had those for him. So he came up. Awesome to see him. He was talking about he was opening he opened a box of 89 Score football. And so he's a diehard Lions fan, Barry Sanders collector. He actually bought a Barry Sanders Score rookie from one of my dealer buddies, John, Cards in the Attic. So he opened an 89 Score football box, did not pull the Barry Sanders rookie. He pulled, what did he say? I think 3 Troy Aikmans out of that box. He pulled 4. Was it Deion Sanders? He pulled 4 of another rookie, but 0 Barry Sanders rookies in the 89 score football box. Let's see. Dan says he went to a card show yesterday. Yeah, I saw Dan's tweets. Dan went to a card show yesterday, a small card show with a $5 admission fee. Absolutely ridiculous. $5 is way too much for a monthly card show, a small card show. Let's see. So Dan went to a card show yesterday. The only thing I thought was cool is one dealer had his cards labeled with 2 prices, selling price and recent comp. I thought that was interesting. There's a dealer that has done my show that does something similar, and I don't know what exactly the numbers are, but they're really good. His sale, it's like I think it's comp price on top, and then the bottom price is his sell price. So it might be $10, and I'm selling it for $4. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Are they accurate? I don't even know if they're accurate numbers, but some of the stuff I've bought in their vintage, it's like, this is a really good deal. Like, I don't even care what the comps are. It's like, I would pay this for a 1951 Bowman Phil Cavaretta. Yes, definitely. Andrew says, well, what do we think the dealer meant by that? Wiki will not help in this situation. Does the dealer hate pickers, or does he hate his own cards? He hates the cans. Stay away from the cans. Let's see. Mike says, I have some things listed that are totally underpriced on purpose and they get 0 views. Then I list other stuff that gets scooped up the same day. It's fascinating what sells and what doesn't sell on eBay. Tracy says $15 entry fee when they have a card show in Myrtle Beach. 40 tables at the last one, if I remember correctly. That's absolutely ludicrous. I would not, there's no way in hell I would step foot into a card show with 40 tables charging $15 entry fee. So the Madison card show is 125 tables, and it's zip, zilch, 0, nada to walk in the door. 0. Other shows. The Oak Creek card show, it's only $1 admission, and I think he's up to like 150 tables in Oak Creek. The shows in Rockford have been 80 tables, free admission. So $5 is crazy. 15 is absolutely ludicrous. Let's play a game. So yesterday we played a game with 1990 score football. Let's name that player. So we're going to go baseball today. So we're going to go 91 Topps. Oh, this is a great set. Great set. We've got gum on the front of this pack. Do we get a gum stain? Oh, it is. So it's back. Oh, we got a gum stain. Yes. So I'll show the gum stain. We've got an intact piece of gum. How about that? No, I'm not going to chew it. So we've got the instant win game. What are we winning? If you have an X, this is the card. Let's see. If you have an X number next to the Topps name on your game card, you are an instant winner. I don't know what that means. What's Canada have to do on this? Where's the small print for Canada? Oh, hey, no math, no equation to solve for Canada, it appears. Okay, so here we go. Here's what so 1991 Topps. If one grand prize of all 40 years of Topps baseball card sets. So they valued that in 1991 as $125,000. Can you imagine that? Because that includes the 1952 Topps set. Holy crap. So that's way over $125,000 today. At least one of every card from every complete set produced by Topps over the last 40 years will be randomly seeded in retail packages of 1991 Topps baseball retail packs. Odds of winning a card 1 in 1,000. So I did in one of my, I don't know if it was it was probably a Goodwill pallet, my last Goodwill pallet. There was like a whole box of 91 Topps. And in the middle, there was like a 1970 Topps. And I bet it was an original card that was in a pack. So, yeah, that would have been super awesome to win. So, let's play a game. We need a piece of paper. We'll use the envelope again. So, who do we have? So, let's get to the chat before we play a game. Let's see. Andrew is Wiki Read. Big Harv says, eat it, not going to eat it. That would have been awesome to win. Brian Wolf, good morning to you. We are playing a game, 91 tops. Name that player. We start off with the White Sox. Who can name this player? So first person that I see on my screen, which it may differ from your screen because I'm in the background. So who can name this player from the Chicago White Sox? He was an outfielder and a designated hitter. Victor, nailed it. Dan, is it Pasqua? So Victor gets a point. I'm going to actually write this down. I don't know what John's trying to say. So here we go. Where's Jenny? We've got a Minnesota Twin coming up. Minnesota Twins. Look at that stash. Oh, John was trying to type Kittle, not Ron Kittle. That was Dan Pasqua. This is a Minnesota Twin outfielder who began his career with the Seattle Mariners. Looks like he made his debut in 1982. Not Ron Burgundy, not Tom Brunansky. That's a good guess, Tom Brunansky. This is not Tom Brunansky, though. Outfielder, debuted with the Mariners 1982. He has a Ron Burgundy mustache. Kyle's with us. Kent Hrbek is not correct. Not Ron Jeremy either. Has anybody guessed one or and his name is not Ron, Tom, or Kent, or Brunansky, Burgundy, or Hrbek? Not Juan. Oh. His name is Juan in Mexico. His first name is Juan in Mexico. Not Kirby Puckett. Drafted by the Mariners in 1980. Andrew says his screen is fuzzy. Diego is with us, and he gets it. Diego gets it. John Moses. Okay, so we've got Diego on the board. So it's 1-1, Victor and Diego. Here we go. Where's Herman? Herman, get ready. It's an Atlanta Brave. A pitcher. Now, I don't remember this guy as a Brave. I remember him more, I guess, for the Padres. He was a pitcher for the Padres. He was a pitcher for the Giants. He made his debut in 1984. Bob Cirk, what's up? It is not Kent Merker. He is from Aurora, Illinois. Not Warren Spahn. Born in Aurora, Illinois. Not Steve. Pitcher for the Braves in 1990. Not Greg Swindell. Pitched for the Giants from 1984 into 87. Not Rod Beck, not Jim Abbott. And then he went to the Padres in 87. Pitched for the Padres part of 87, 88, 89, and 1990. Went to the Braves. Mark Grant, boom. James, you got it. James is on the board. Mark Grant. Okay, so we've got James with a point. Oh, and this is going into my Cubs collection. This will probably be the 7,000th of this guy. Did not play for the Cubs very long. Is this in focus? There we go. I remember this guy. Where is Uncle Rich? Not Sarge. I remember this guy for the Padres. Jerome Walton's a really good guess. Not Jerome Walton. Not Andre Dawson. Yes, Diego. Diego is in the lead now. Marvell Wynn. I remember him more for the Padres more than anything. So we've got to put him in my Cubs pile. So Diego gets a second point. Now we go to the Houston Astros. Let's see. Houston Astros. Who is this guy? Shortstop. Focus. Is it going to focus? 1991 tops, Houston Astros. Diego. Wow. Diego is running away with 1991 Topps baseball. Andahar Cedeno, shortstop for the Astros. Diego is up 3-1 over Victor and James. Okay, this is a toughie. I don't remember this guy at all. This one we might have to give away. Cleveland Indians pitcher. And for some reason, I've never heard of this guy. I mean, I probably have through baseball cards. Not Steve Olin. But I'm looking at the back of his card. He played for the Indians in 87, 88, 89, and 90. Not Greg Swindell. Not Duane. He made his debut in 1985 with the Oakland Athletics. Well, here's the thing. He pitched in all those years, but from 1985 through 1990, he only appeared in 31 games. So he appeared in 2 games in 87, 3 games in 88, 6 games in 89, 5 games in 1990. So that's probably why I haven't heard of him. Pitcher for the Cleveland Indians. First name is Jeff. Going once, going twice. We're going to give it away. Jeff Kaiser. Anybody remember him? Probably not. 31 games pitched from 85 through 1990. Went to Western Michigan. So nobody gets a point. Okay, this should be an easy one. Oakland Athletics pitcher. Oakland A's pitcher. I know somebody's going to get this one. Is Diego going to get to it first? I'll just take the last name. You don't have to type in the whole name. He had a long career. Not Mike Moore. There you go, Diego. Diego gets Rick Honeycutt. Diego is running away with 91 Topps. Okay, here we go. Chicago White Sox. This should also be I think somebody will get this right away. 1991 Topps, Chicago White Sox, pitcher. Like this might be his second year card. I'll give Diego the points. He got the last name. This is kind of like Jeopardy. We'll take the last name. Although I think in Jeopardy, if you say the wrong first name, they don't give you credit. But we will on Hobby Evolution. So this is Greg Hibbard. So here's the thing, though. You don't know what's coming up. I guess you could flip through the pages, but it's like, what, 792 cards? Diego's pretty fast. I don't know if he's fast enough to cheat. And Diego's really good with cards. So I think Diego is on the up and up. Okay, here we go. Baltimore Orioles catcher. Orioles catcher. This is another one that I think you'll get. Not Marullo. Baltimore Orioles catcher. He also played for the Oakland A's in his career. Not Chris Hoyles. It's a good guess. Made his debut in 1984. Diego. Diego gets it. Mickey Tettleton. Mickey Tettleton. Okay, who do we have? Next, we're going to the Kansas City Royals. We're going to KC. Getting some barbecue. Pitcher for the Royals. This is going to be a tough one. But he did play for Mark Hoyle's Boston Red Sox for much of his career. In fact, he spent most of the 80s in Boston. 1980 to 1987 with the Red Sox. Went to Kansas City for the 89 and 90 seasons. Here he is on a 91 Topps card. He's a pitcher. Let's see. He was drafted by the Red Sox. I don't want to move my thumb. Andrew says you resealed the pack after the Diego phone call. Diego knows the guy, but not his name. Not Norm Charlton. Bergs, not Dennis Lamp. All right, let's say going once, going twice. Bergmeyer, not Bergmeyer. It is Steve Crawford. No point awarded. Steve Crawford. That was a tough one. Okay, now we've got a manager card. We've got a couple Blue Jays coming up. First, we go with the manager of the Blue Jays. I think you're going to get this one right away. It's a manager. And Victor gets it. Victor, Andrew, and Diego all got it. Victor was first on my screen. Cito Gaston. So we stay in Toronto. Oh, and the next one's going to be fun because the next one has been named in this chat. So this is a Toronto Blue Jays pitcher. This might be his rookie card. Toronto Blue Jays pitcher, could be his rookie card. I'm looking at his stats here. Yeah, he played in 1990. So this is probably his first card, Topps card. You got the team, but it's not Todd Stottlemyre. Not Todd Stottlemyre. It's not Butt Gandy. This is kind of a tough one. Jenny says, do we even have any Blue Jay fans in here? No, because I have 50,000 Toronto Blue Jays cards sorted and ready to trade. Mike Moore, not Marcus Stroman. John needs to focus on driving, not Dave Stieb. Going once, going twice. Willie Blair. This next one's going to be fun because this has been named, I think, by more than one people. Cleveland Indians pitcher. He has been named in this chat. Who's going to get it? Made his debut in 1986 with the Indians. Not Mark Langston. This guy has been named in the chat. Not Steve Loyne, and it's not Steve Olin. It's not Ron Burgundy. It's not Ricky Vaughn. It's not Jim Abbott. He has been named in this chat twice, and I think by two different people. He has been named in this chat already twice. How are you not getting this? Come on. Go back through the chat. Just start typing in names. Let's see. Who it's not Bob. Let's see. I'm going up to see who has named him. Bob Cirque named him. That should give it away because I think and Diego's also named him. Not Biscuit. Not Todd Stottlemyre. Bob has named him, and Diego has named him. Okay, going once. Going twice. Greg Swindell. I thought that was going to be a gimme. No point awarded for Greg Swindell. Okay, we're down to two cards. And we've got a Dodger here. Dodger outfielder. And I'm looking at his stats, and he played longer than I had expected. Not Eric Karros. He played for the Dodgers from 1985 through 1990. This pack does suck, by the way, because the next card, we didn't get any superstars in this pack. Let's see, not Carlos Gonzalez. Oh, you got the last name correct. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to give Diego credit for Carlos. It's not Marshall. It's not Valenzuela. It's not Marshall. We'll give, so it is Gonzalez. Jose, yes, Diego gets the point. We'll give Diego the point for Jose Gonzalez. So Diego with point number 6. And finally, our last card with the gum stain. I almost showed the gum stain, but that would give away the answer. A catcher for the Oakland A's. Now, this guy was a journeyman. He played for the Indians, the Cubs, the Yankees, the White Sox, and the Oakland A's. Diego nailed it. Ron Hassey. Diego with Ron Hassey. So there we go. Diego, 7 points. 7. So how many? I think we had 3 that we did not award points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Diego, 7 of 14. Victor got 2, and James got 1. Oh, here's the gum stain. Nice, pretty gum stain on Ron Hassey. Diego needs to battle Uncle Rich. Dan said, I typed Swindell as you said his name. You were too late. You were too slow, Dan. So, where do I put these? What a crappy pack that one. That was a garbage pack. The biggest name we got was probably Greg Swindell or Cito Gaston manager card. Yeah. Dan Pasqua, John Moses, Mark Grant, Andahar Cedeno, Jeff Kaiser, Rick Honeycutt, Greg Hibbard, Mickey Tettleton, Steve Crawford, Cito Gaston, Willie Blair, Greg Swindell, Jose Gonzalez, and Ron Hassey. Oh, and Marvell Wynn. We got one card, Cubs card. So I'm actually just going to toss those. So Diego, 7 of 15. 7 of 15. Sex bots have arrived. That mean we've overstayed. Does that mean we've overstayed our welcome when the sex bots come in? We've overstayed our welcome. We're at an hour. Sex bots are here. Let's see. You know what? And I don't think, as I like look through, it's kind of hard to go back because now I know. I probably would have got Ron Hassey. I would not have known Jose Gonzalez. I may have gotten Greg Swindell. I would not have gotten Willie Blair. I would have gotten Cito Gaston. I would not have got Steve Crawford. I would have got Tettleton. I would have got Hibbard. I would have got Honeycutt. Would not have got Kaiser. Cedeno, I probably would not have got Cedeno. I don't think I would have got Mark Grant. Maybe John Moses, because I do remember that stash. Dan Pasqua, I think I would have got. So 91 tops. I think other YouTubers should do this game because I want to play. It's fun being the host, but I also enjoy playing. So somebody do a YouTube show where we can play this live at some point. Let's see. Tracy says that is fun. Too bad I stink with names. Diego says Mini 90 Donruss helps with population control. Brian says, is that the Todd Van Poppel year? I don't think Van Poppel had a 91 tops card. Would he have had a 91? Maybe he did have a 91 tops. But it is his year. Yeah. So Todd Van Poppel had a 91. The 91 upper deck was his big card. Was he in score? He was in 91 score. I don't remember his did Van Poppel have a 91 Donruss? I don't think he had. If he was in Donruss or tops, it would have been in the traded sets, I think, but I don't know. Let's see. Andrew says his screen was fuzzy. Wah wah. Dan will line that up. Dan is taking charge, and he will play the game. I love it. I want to play. Let's play. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We'll be back at it. Hopefully it's 7 a.m. tomorrow. I'll make sure to set my alarm and wake up on time and not oversleep. I've got a lot more. Cooter, I've got your package. I've got some goodies coming your way. Cooter put an order in for my eBay store. I will admit I'm not always the fastest shipper. So he put an order in with Jenny and my stores, and I think was it Thursday night, and Jenny had his shipped Friday morning. Cooter will probably get Jenny's package before mine hits the mailbox to go out, because Cooter's package is going out this morning, and when I'll head to the post office this afternoon. Clark says, go USA. I think some soccer's going on. Tracy says, I need to see what I owe PWCC this morning. Did anyone else get the $100 credit for last night? It was the only reason I was bidding. Nice. Let's see. So, that's what I had. So thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll talk again tomorrow. See you then.